Brent Messmer here with Technical Taekwondo. Today we are going to be going through our turning kick, or our basic angle kick as we know it as. In Korean it's called a pichagi. But we are going to be going through this basic kick as well as we're going to be going through a power turning kick. So we're going to show you that as well. One thing that irritates me, a lot of people who are doing Taekwondo kicks, is they're not turning their hip over, they're not getting maximum power out of it. They're coming up with these 45 little half angle kicks, which are faster and it's enough to score points. However, remember, it is a martial art. Not everyone is training for competition. If you're a competition school, great. Have fun. Throw those kicks as fast as you possibly can. You don't need a lot of power to score points nowadays. However, in a self-defense situation, if you throw the same kick, you're going to get your ass handed to you. That's what irritates me. So I'm going to show you guys how to do a real turning kick with real power, and then I'm going to show you a version of it that hits even harder. So if you guys like what we're doing, please like and subscribe to this channel. So for maximum power, you're hitting at that 90-degree angle. If I'm cutting up at a 45, or worse, less angle than that, but the power is skipping off. It's not all going into the target. I'm hitting at an angle. If a bullet were to hit a wall at this angle, that bullet's going to bounce off. It's going to ricochet. Same thing with any other type of power. If I'm coming in 90 degrees into it, I'm going to bury everything I have into that, all the power, the speed, the momentum, all of that going straight in to that target. That's why we roll our hip over all the way. That's why we come in at a 90. Because we believe one blow is sufficient for victory. I don't want to hit someone a bunch of times. I don't want to hit them any more than one time. Practice your kicks coming in at that 90 for maximum power. If you do the competition, you do the sport of Taekwondo, great. Use those half little 45 kicks, you know. They're fast. Great. I've used them before. Not going to say I haven't. But you need to have the ability to hit hard. Striking hard can change the fight like that. Okay? I do these little tippy-tappy kicks. Or I load up on one. I just change the whole fight with one blow. So that's what a power kick can do. You hit someone hard enough, they don't want to get hit again. So if you can load up and get a lot of power on your turning kick, you're going to have the same results. So I've made this statement before that the way we are doing our turning kicks are faster and stronger than the way the Thai do their kicks. Thai have a great kick, I'm not going to deny that, but the way we are doing our turning kick, it's a little bit stronger and it's faster with better control. So I'm hitting this 100-pound heavy bag, not holding back. I'm 50 years old, I'm not in excellent shape. I'm in good shape for 50 years old, but I'm not like what I was when I was 25. Our turning kick hits with a ton of power. I've tried the Thai kick, I've played with that a little bit, and it's a decent way to kick, but it's not the only way to kick. It's not the only way to develop power. Personally, my turning kick is stronger than my Thai kick. Now, granted, I've practiced it more, but I think that stepping out motion that they do with the Thai is just a huge telegraph and a waste of time. I don't need it. I generate enough power to go through things that I don't need to step out and tell my opponent, here I come, you know, please move out of the way so I miss. But I'm 50 years old and I'm hitting a 100-pound bag. I'm not hitting one of these wave bags that has no water in it that just flops around. I've actually broken 3 of those wave bags in my career. I can't hit those with power kicks. Okay? I've either cracked it so that it leaks, or one of them I actually broke the top off, in half almost. So yeah, you can't use those if you know how to hit hard. I would like you guys to study this, how I'm teaching it, and experiment with it. Okay? If you think that your method of kicking is stronger, by all means, don't change. But if you see the value in what I'm doing and you see how we're doing these kicks, by all means, test it out, and if you see it, change. That's all I got. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, so again, I'm slamming that knee up and driving that in. Okay. So one thing I'm doing that the Thai don't get out of this is a reaction force, meaning after I hit the bag, I'm pushing back, okay, and creating a shock wave of energy. Where they're swinging it like a baseball bat, and just burying it. When the Thai are doing this kick, they're stepping out, stretching their hips. And they're using the rubber band effect. When you stretch a rubber band, what happens when you let it go? It comes back together. So they're stretching their hips and bringing that across. Okay, so they're stretching, and then that motion is helping them increase their power. So that's why they're generating so much power on the Thai kick. With the Taekwondo, with the style that we're doing, we're not generating power that way. Okay? We're generating power the same way your traditional karate guys are, is you're slamming that knee up, but you transfer that weight to get those bones aligned. So my foot, knee, hip, shoulders are all in alignment. Driving that foot up, powering in, and after impact, I rechamber quickly off of the target, creating that reaction force, that shock wave of energy. Okay? Okay. If I need to hit harder for some reason, I can. So my basic turning kick, or I said the angle kick as we call it, I'm driving that initial knee lift straight up. Okay. Again, I've said this in other videos, I want to make all of my kicks come up with a straight front knee lift. Deception is not the main reason. The main reason is for power. Once I get that weight transferred and my bones are lined up, remember those are the first two parts of a kick. On the chamber, when I slam that knee up, the third part of kick is that chamber. I'm going to slam that knee up using the quadricep muscles, the biggest muscles in my leg, to drive that knee up and force the kick out. If I start turning this over and using the side of my leg, it's not going to be as strong. Plus, second reason, if I start making a motion that is different, my opponent's going to pick up on it, and it's going to be easier for him to see what's coming. All right, so I want to come through, drive that knee straight up. Once I get almost belt level high is when I start to roll it. So I transfer that weight, bones align, chamber that leg up through. As I'm extending out, I pivot the base foot. Remember, the weight comes off of the heel when I power the knee up. Okay? I'm going tippy-toe for that split second. So as I'm going tippy-toe, I pivot, roll that hip over completely sideways, and cutting over. The irritating kick that you see in Taekwondo nowadays, again, the sport of Taekwondo is all they're trying to do is do enough to score a point. Yeah. And that little 45, little flippy-do thing, half front kick, half roundhouse kick thing, yeah, okay, it's enough to score a point. Great. You get in a fight, it's garbage, it's not going to work, you're going to get beat up. Okay? So I don't even teach my colored belts that 45. It's garbage. It does not take that much more effort or time to turn the hip all the way over. So if I'm coming up here and I'm coming up there, that's about the same speed. Okay? I'm not losing much at all. But I want to dump that over and come all the way in sideways. Okay? Going through the 6 parts of a kick again, transfer, bone alignment, knee lift, extension. When I'm striking the target, I'm not aiming for the surface. As one of my black belts said, and I love this quote, "What are you aiming for, Dave?" "I'm aiming for their soul." I thought that was fantastic. I want to penetrate through the target at least 3 inches. I'm not trying to go to the side of the bag, but I'm not going for the front either. I want to penetrate. I want to drive through. So once I get that focus, I get that penetration, then I rechamber. I'm pushing off the bag. That was a little much. Okay? But I'm driving in and pushing off on the rechamber. That creates a shock wave of energy what we call reaction force, that goes through the target, basically hits them almost a second time. So that's the basic turning kick, or again, what we call the angle kick. If I'm coming up for the power turning kick, so transfer the weight, I lift that knee up to the side, bringing it up and around as I come through. Other than that, it's the same kick. I'm still coming over 90 degrees, bearing it all the way around, but I'm bringing this from here. I'm coming over here this way and dropping it in. Okay. So my knee lift would be here. Think about there's a chair here, and I'm bringing my knee up over and then coming through. It does take more time, okay? But it hits like a ton of bricks. I'm probably getting another 20-30% by doing it this way. If you want to increase power a little bit, you can sit back on your stance, what we call a T stance, or you can even throw this kick out of a back stance if you want more power out of it. Honestly, we've tested this. Again, we've tested all of this stuff. This is, I'm not going to teach my students something that I haven't tested. I'm not going to do the same thing with you guys. From T stance to back stance may be 5% stronger. It's not a whole lot. T stance, weight is almost 50-50. There's a little bit more weight on the back leg, so maybe 55-45, 51-49, however you want to count it. But there's a little bit more weight on the back leg. So when I shift that weight forward, it's a little bit more pronounced than if I'm already 50-50. So that weight transfer is a little bit bigger, which gets that forward momentum moving towards the target. Bringing this knee up from the outside, okay? So I'm chambering here and carrying it all the way around and then through. And I'm hitting with the instep and not hitting with the shin, okay? And every once in a while, what you need to do to get this working right in your brain and your coordination, I'll figure it out, slam that knee up to the outside and then just not hitting hard, but just getting that coordination where you're driving through. Okay. Once you got it figured out, then you go a little harder, a little faster. Okay. I didn't breathe out on impact, so I'm going to add that. Hey guys, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you guys to test this stuff. I want you to go and hit the heavy bag. I want you to go and hit maybe the paddle targets. A really good way to feel the impact when someone is kicking it, with one of these paddle targets, put your hand behind it and you'll feel the amount of force when they kick it going through your hand. Now again, you're not aiming for the paddle target, you're actually aiming for the hand. That way you're penetrating through the target. So when we practice, we have the target straight up and down, we don't angle it in. Again, but we're coming over 90 sideways coming in with these angle kicks, and that's for maximum power. If you guys like the stuff that we're doing, please hit that subscribe button, and until next time, God bless, keep on kicking.